Okay, adjusting volume. Okay, excuse me. Most people would do another take because of the belch, but since I suck at this, I'm just gonna go ahead. Anyway, so this review I meant to do last week, but I've been kind of juggling my personal life with this new job I got at Giant, where I'm working a lot of hours, way more hours than I ever have before, as far back as I can remember. So it was a little hard. I'm gonna do this review tonight, and then I'm gonna do Ash versus Evil Dead season 3 on Halloween night, or on the day of Halloween. I don't know if I'd want to do it right after I get back from a 1 to 8 shift. I'm not sure about that. Um, I'll probably use the Friday shift as like a testing ground to see how I feel when I get back. Anyhow, so this is Ash versus Evil Dead season 2, and it kind of starts off where season 1 left off, where Ash and his friends. Every time I say that, I keep thinking of like Pokemon or something. Jeez, oh man, imagine if the Ash from Evil Dead was swapped out for Ash Ketchum and the Pokemon. That would be such a disturbing show. I would love it. Um, so Ash and the gang are in Jacksonville, which apparently was Ash's ideal vacation spot. You could have picked Hawaii, Miami, Australia, somewhere in California, whatever. It was in Florida pre-pandemic, so anyway, and a demon attack happens, which launches season 2, where Ash, Pablo, and Kelly have to go to Elk Grove, Ash's hometown, to find Ruby and see what the hell went wrong with their Faustian bargain. I mean, it's a Faustian bargain. Those are usually sealers. Nothing goes wrong there. Um. Anyway, and this is my first major compliment for the series. The bulk of season 2 takes place in Ash's hometown, and you get to find out more about his backstory, why he hadn't been back in decades, and you also learn he has a strained relationship with his father, which the strained father son relationship thing I'm always going to relate to. But I'm not going to get into that. This isn't a therapy session where I talk in front of a camera and vent. Um, but yeah, you do find out that not a lot of people believed Ash was innocent, and people thought he just went crazy and killed all his friends and all that stuff. And you do kind of see throughout the season how that beat down Ash and ran him out of town, and it even makes it more painful for the character because his father didn't believe him either. The one person who could have believed, I don't know what happened to his mom. They never really mentioned it. I mean, she's dead, obviously, but they never really mentioned whether the mom died of suicide or whether she. We don't know how the mom died. Bottom line, it's just Ash and his father, played by, oh God, I can't remember the actor's name. I should have double checked before. I'm gonna feel really stupid later because someone's gonna point it out. So I think it was Lee Majors. Yeah, Lee Majors. Um, yeah. So there is that. That's one of the main arcs of the season, is that Ash's father does gradually realize that Ash is actually more of a hero rather than the villain everyone has assumed he was over the past 3 decades. Although it is weird when he goes into the bar early in the first episode of season 2 and people start mocking him. It's like, if this guy's pseudo reputation is a psychotic killing maniac, I don't think you should be trying to piss him off with a ashy slashy nickname. Um, Another thing I really do enjoy is that Ash has been known as the kind of character who's kind of a stupid person, but later in the series, where he gets captured by the big bad in a mental asylum, which also leads to a funny Ash puppet. That was kind of a funny idea. You do see Ash pretend to be evil to capture all his friends, so he and his friends can gang up on the demon to take him out. That's actually, for a character that is well known for being dumb, that was actually really clever and really shrewd. And I really like it when they have moments where Ash shows some ingenuity, because it kind of makes him a little more nuanced than just dumb guy who kills demons. because Ash is kind of like an incompetent Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, like an incompetent but charming Gaston. Like he's got the ego, he's got the pride, but like I said in my other review, he's a fuck up. But he does eventually find a way to make things work, you know. And I also like how they make Ruby was kind of a mysterious figure in the first series, but in this one, she's more of a hero, kind of. I mean, you don't really trust her at first, but you do realize that they do earn her trust throughout the season. I mean, she earns their trust. Unfortunately, an evil version of her gets spawned at the end of season 2, which I'll get into more in season 3. And honestly, with the first series, which felt like it was building the story as it went along, this one, up until the point where Ash's car gets stolen by some teenagers, that's kind of the part where it feels a little silly. Because it's like, I thought this show was about demons. Why are we having a possessed car? I mean, I know Videlta is a very prized possession of Ash's, but it's just like, it's a car. I'm sure you could find one at a used car lot somewhere. That episode was kind of. There are a few filler episodes in the middle of the series, which I do kind of feel it doesn't hurt. It doesn't kill it. It's not like in Stranger Things season 2 where they have that one episode that's like, what the hell is this doing here? I mean, these episodes are entertaining. They are fun to watch. The only problem is that I mean, aside from the car killing off Ash's father, there really isn't a whole lot of relevance or plot significance to the car being possessed, other than the fact that the body count rises and Ash's father eventually realizes that Ash is a hero. And that's probably and that's what I like about season 2. Surprisingly enough, even though the first season got pretty gory and dark, this one gets darker. I mean, you have beloved characters getting killed off and resurrected. It was really cool to have the actress that played Ellen Sandwise coming back to play Cheryl for a scene in season 2 where she comes back and attacks Ash and his friend Chet, played by Ted Raimi. And even though Ted Raimi has a small role in this series, he's very lovable. There's a really funny back and forth where Ted Raimi sees Ash's effects and he starts questioning him about it, and then Ash kind of deflects it with silly excuses. That's kind of funny. There's some good comedy there, and it is nice to see that there's some people in the town that do enjoy Ash's company and don't objectively hate him. And but yeah, I do like how this series got a little darker, but it upped more of the fun factor. You know, kind of like the writers knew that this season was going to be more disturbing and more dark than the first season, so they upped the dark factor, and then they upped the goofy upbeat factor. Put it this way, the series does get darker, but not to the point where you lose enjoyment and start feeling super depressed. That's the first movie's job. Um, so honestly, I think this is a very well done. I do kind of feel bad that Pablo continues to get the brunt of the beating in second place in terms of Ash getting the beating, because in the first season he gets booked. The demons literally throw the cover of the book at him and it gets on his face. This one, he becomes possessed, gives birth orally through some demon monsters like he did in the first season. And then in this one, he gets killed, but they spoil it. I mean, look, there's spoilers underneath the video screen here. So if you're still watching this and you're going to get mad at me for spoilers, that's your problem. I clearly said this had spoilers. Um, but yeah, there are some good emotional scenes in there, and again, Bruce Campbell once again brings a lot of life, a lot of charm, and a lot of ego to the role that basically created his career. So I think this was a very well addition to the Ash series. And one thing I really like, without going into too much detail, Ash does get the happy ending this time. Because in most of the stories, he usually ends up getting the short end of the stick. But in this one, he becomes the town hero at the end. He owns a hardware store. Everything's going great. Or is it? Anyway, so that's my season 2 review of Ash vs. Evil Dead. As I said, I'm gonna try to get the third season review up on Halloween, and I'm gonna wear not this, but my Evil Dead sweatshirt upstairs. I'm gonna try wearing that. Anyway, so I'm also going to do my rehearsal for Lost in the Shadows on Wednesday, and I'll get that cover posted on Friday at midnight, like I have in the past couple weeks. So thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed my review, and see you later. Take care.